Oh, whoa. What up? What up? What up, now? Live and direct, coming to you from the Sierra Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I got my guys with me, the Big Ragoo and C-Mac. How y'all feeling today, fellas?
Ready to
good.
roll.
Ready to rock this card today. Buyer
Excelente.
beware. Buyer beware. That's all I got to say.
Hey, well, guess what? We got a full hour today before the game starts. Not that 30-minute stuff. So we got a little bit of time to properly go through these games today. And, anything changed since we met on Wednesday for you guys?
No, not really.
No, not really.
Just maybe a little bit of player information coming out of the locker room with all this COVID nonsense. But other than that, just watching the lines jump up and down and ready to get on these games.
Now, before we get into talking about games that's not even going to get played, postponed already. What do we have, Big Ragoo? I know we have Notre Dame. Did Baylor get canceled? No, Baylor didn't get canceled.
No, Tulsa, Arkansas State got canceled. South Florida, and Florida Atlantic, and North Texas, Houston. Those are the three games. And, of course, Notre Dame, Wake Forest got postponed. But the other games, there's 4 games. The big one, Notre Dame, Wake.
Okay, and we shouldn't be getting any more surprises. Because they test on Fridays, right? So everybody's a go for today. So I believe what's there is what's there, unless disciplinary actions or injury, whatever. But yeah, man, y'all ready to bounce into this?
Go ahead.
Do it.
All right, I'm gonna jump right here. 423 Kansas State versus Oklahoma, and this is Oklahoma minus 28, and the total's at 59.5. You guys got a play on this one?
Go ahead, Conor. You lead it off. We'll go back and forth between me and Conor.
Yeah.
Conor and me, and Conor and me.
Sounds good. I don't. If I did, I'd take the points with Kansas State. I haven't trusted Oklahoma. I know now this year everyone says this is Oklahoma. They're better than last year. Last year they were good. They couldn't cover big spreads. They just couldn't do it. Home or away, it didn't matter. I know Kansas State lost to Arkansas State, played that close game, but I'd have to take the points here. I think they should be more prepared and ready. If I was going to just lean this way, I'd take the points here with Kansas State.
How about you, Big Ragoo?
I'm taking a wait and see on the Big 12. Once I want to see a conference game or two, unless something really jumps off the charts at me. I'm not going to say aberration on Oklahoma State because there were some injuries involved there, but I got to say maybe from a coaching standpoint right out of the gate, maybe Kansas State because they got maybe some of that jitters off of them, maybe taking the points here as a small lean, maybe a half unit, something like that. But I'm not just going to throw a play just to throw a play, so I'm going to be off of this game.
Yeah, I'm totally off this game. What I seen from Kansas State earlier, I didn't really like. I don't know what to expect. We have the factor of a lot of teams whom we may have thought were like poor performers or whatever. They've had some practice time. They have some time to work on some of the things that they do bad and try to get a little better at it. So these teams that have been sitting around like that, Kansas State, I don't know. They might come in and do a lot better, or they might stay right where they were. So I'm off this game as well. We'll see how that works.
That's a noon start, right? 12 o'clock start.
Yeah, that's a 12 o'clock start as well. Now, next up, I got Georgia Tech, Syracuse. Now, this is another game that I'm totally off, but I don't know about this Syracuse team. The Syracuse team, they look promising at times, but then at the same time, they're not getting it done. And then they're faced with Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech, to me, is basically a team that's similar to Syracuse. These are two very similar teams right here. In situations like this, I usually just go ahead and play the over. Two equally talented teams, they get away from each other a little bit, but this one started off at 7, moved up to 7.5. Mm-hmm. Anybody making a play on this one, Conor?
Yep.
I'm passing here. I want nothing to do. I took Syracuse last week. They covered, but I didn't like this game. I thought it was a total kind of a trap game. That's a 7.5. I didn't love it, so I passed.
All right, so if you check the line on this game, you got Syracuse is taking a little bit more of the percentage of the plays, and I wouldn't call it a reverse line move, but it ticked like Conor says. We're sitting at 7.5, minus 102 in spots, minus 105s, and Syracuse is taking the money. So a slight uptick in the number to start with, but maybe like a little reverse line movement here. Reverse line movement on Syracuse playing at home.
There we go. Yeah, me, like I said, I'm kind of off the game. If I had to make a play, I'd go ahead and go with the over. The two teams are very similar. And my thought process behind that one is, when two teams kind of do the same thing, they practice against basically the same thing. So they kind of know how to beat it. So to me, it leads to a lot of overs. But next up, Georgia Southern and Louisiana Lafayette. Now, this is a game I'm invested in on this one. The total's been going away from where I'm going with this, which is great for me. I don't mind. I really like the over in this game. Yeah, Louisiana Lafayette, the Razor Cajuns, they didn't put up as many points as we expected them to put on. They do have some good defense, but this Georgia Southern team, it was a very small sample size of what they real potential was when they played Campbell, because they set like 31 players. So all those players are coming back. I really don't want to jump on the side, but of course I would take the points in this case. But I don't know how these Georgia Southern players are going to react if they were disciplined, whatever happened, that they all had to step out. But at the same time, they could all be standing together and trying to right their wrongs or whatever. So in this one, I expect Georgia Southern to touch the scoreboard a couple times, and I also expect Louisiana definitely to touch the scoreboard a couple times. And 49.5, 50, opened at 53. It's leaning away from me, but I like the number, so I'm taking the over in that. I'm already invested. I know you guys probably not playing this play though, huh?
I'm not playing it, but it is going your way. I like the over right away, but it is starting to chase at 53.5. But I like the move. I mean, that's what I looked at that game when I kind of went over it. So that was my lean.
I lean the other way. I lean Louisiana only because coming off of that rough spot, big win on the road. We know about how they opened up the season. Come back, played the tough game with a pretty good team. COVID issues again for Georgia Southern. I think they're missing a couple pieces here. I just like Louisiana to get back on track in a high-scoring affair, but I think they double them up. What is the current number on that one? What are we looking at on that game?
I see 49 and a half. I see 50
spread
out there. The spread is 11. It opened at 14, moved down to 11. I see 11 and a half out there. I see a 12 out there.
Yeah, I'm going to go against the public and maybe some sharps on this one. I'm going to take Louisiana and lay the points.
There you go. Now, I agree with you. I definitely think Louisiana walks away with the win, but by how much, I don't know. This is back to conference play right here, and I like I said, conference play. The history of these two right here, they played 3 times in like the last 5 or 10 years, and it's went over every time. So this is a short number. I'm gonna go for it and go over. Big Ragoo likes the Raging Cajuns flat out minus the points. Hey, y'all write that down. Let's jump into the next one. Florida and Ole Miss. Now, if you guys been watching ESPN this morning, you probably been looking at all the rhetoric about this game right here. But it's kind of a nasty setup for me. You don't really know what you're going to get out of. Everybody has their expectations of the new look on Ole Miss, but we don't know if they're going to play to those expectations. Definitely a game for me. I don't really want no parts of it, but we could jump over to the Florida specialist right here, the Big Ragoo. And how you feel about that, Ragoo?
I know Conor and we talked about this the other day, with the big numbers in the SEC starting out, just jumping out of the gate, not playing the cupcake game and going right into these tough conference looks. But I don't know. Mullins, you can't knock Mullins for what he's doing over there. 2 10-win seasons back to back, starting out. He's in the very well deep into his recruiting process. With talent on the field. Flip side the other way, not so much for Lane Kiffin, but Lane Kiffin, to his credit, he does give his teams a quick start on the offensive side. I don't know how much success he's going to have against the Gators defense, but I don't know. I think they keep it. I think they're well within. I think if you get better than 2 touchdowns, I'd have to almost take a strong lean on Mississippi. What do you think, Conor?
Well, I bet it. I took Ole Miss plus the 14.5. That was the only bet I made earlier in the week. I like Lane Kiffin. I mean, not that it's so much I love him as a coach, but he's done well as a dog. I think they keep the ball on the ground. It'll be. I don't think Florida can run away with it. I mean, they could, but I think with the running back Ole Miss has, their kick returner, he's real good running back. I think they can control the clock a little bit, make a few plays, and keep this thing close. So I'm on the points here with Ole Miss.
Let me say one more thing.
Dropping. It's at 13.5. So if you want it.
Okay. Yeah. See, early money coming in on Mississippi, right? So I just want to bring one thing up about Florida. Florida's offense. Everybody has this idea about Florida's running game, and they did have some struggles not moving the ball on the ground, but it's what happens when they get in the box and they get knocked around a little bit. So they're not real big on run continuations like after contact. That was an issue for them going forward, and I think you're going to see maybe more of a spread coming from these guys to start off with. But we know that Mississippi lost a bunch of guys on defense. Last year, they were really good. They lost some major leadership. I think they lost like 4 guys, 4 or 5. But that's something to look at. See how Florida's run game stacks up against the Mississippi defense here and puts pressure back on Trask to throw the ball, possibly.
There it is there. And like I said, everybody's going to have the expectations of what Kiffin's supposed to do over there. He's an offensive guy. So, if I would even get involved, I would lean towards the over. But Florida can play some defense too. So I'm off of that game too. I don't want no smoke. But next up, we got Kentucky and Auburn, which I talked about earlier this week. And I was definitely high on Kentucky. It was at a 7.5 earlier. It opened at 9. It's all the way down to 6.5. I got it at 6.5 today. I should have took it earlier in the week, but just got to Vegas. Had to go with the Vegas line, so I got the 6.5 in my pocket with Kentucky. Just like I said on Wednesday, this Kentucky team, they got all the right pieces in all the right places. And it's going to be a rough struggle for them to compete against Auburn. Auburn has all the talent, they have the name and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I think Kentucky pulls away with a win, and people take a better look at Kentucky. So I like Kentucky plus the points, but we ain't gotten into the dog of the day, and that will probably be my dog of the day. Anybody else on this game?
I'm not. But I want to watch it. This is a good one. I think Auburn has the better, talent, but I think the numbers right where it should be, and it should be good to see. Will last year, Kentucky's success last year, will it carry over again this year? I mean, I think it will. So I think it'll be a solid game. I don't have a lean either way, but I definitely want to watch this one. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that one, Conor, also. Malzahn, he gets Chad Morris from Arkansas. They weren't setting the world on fire, so I don't know what he's going to – Malzahn's always got tricks up his sleeves, so he likes to run that spread. More run-oriented than pass, obviously. Auburn with the nasty defensive line last year, they're missing some pieces up front. Most of these SEC teams are missing pieces up front on defense, but I mean, it's going to be an interesting look. Last year – Kentucky took their wide receiver, converted him to quarterback. This year they get the quarterback back and play here. And Stoops did a real nice job with Kentucky, and they were kind of a surprise team. He was fighting for his job after the first couple games a couple years ago, and they've been on a tear since. They've been a step below everybody else in their division, but they can compete. They will make some plays, and they're a well-coached squad. So this is going to be an interesting matchup, I think, here. One that I would probably say in the trenches.
Yeah, the under looks nice in that game as well. I lean under in that game. I expect it to be a battle, man. Like you spoke of with the Florida and Ole Miss. Like, you know, we done kicked out all the little kiddie games and we're going straight into this conference play for these teams in week 1, which I think gives Kentucky a slight advantage, you know, because many times teams like Auburn come back and they're not well prepared, and you know, we're in a life of not being well prepared right now. So it's definitely a chance for Kentucky to go for the goal.
Mm-hmm.
But let's keep it moving down these 12 o'clock games. Next up, what we got? UCF and East Carolina. You know, I try to stay out of the AAC's business. That's not my business. So I'm definitely not touching this game right here. But that's a specialty of the sauce. Big Ragoo, back in your backyard again. How you feel about this one?
Sometimes you got to put the sauce on the on low setting. You know, you can't heat it up all the time. So you got to know when to turn it up a notch and pull it back a notch. This is a game. If you told me year before last, or this, you're not even coming in this year, but we've seen what UCF is doing already. Seems like they've been practicing all spring and summer together. The way that offense, they're going to click it up. East Carolina is a big question mark for me. I don't really know what I'm going to get from them, so I'm not going to say that I'm not going to bet against East Carolina, but I'm not going to bet on them. So this is a pass for me.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Ragoo. East Carolina, they can have every year. They usually have 1 or 2 games they play really great. They'll upset or they'll play real good ball. It is almost 4 touchdowns. I don't want to lay it with UCF, and I don't want to take the points here with Carolina. So it's a pass here in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's going for the pass in that one. Now, here's a game I decided I was going to get interested in, and that's the Louisville and Pittsburgh game. I think it's a great matchup, a great game for the day to watch. Just like I spoke of earlier, teams like Louisville looked really bad last week. You know, they go back into the locker room and these guys talk about it and say, you know, that's not how I want to look. That's not how I want to be. So they come out and do just something different. But this Pittsburgh team, they're primed up on defense. You know, they got a nice running game on offense, and they're ready to play. And I think Pittsburgh can handle these guys today. I mean, the line was already leaning Pittsburgh big time. It was started off at 3.5, but now I see you can get some 2.5s out there. You can definitely get some 3s. But the problem I had with actually getting to the window with that one was it's one of the riskier games. Like I said, we don't know how Louisville is going to bounce back in that one. And I do expect to get the same Pittsburgh team that we seen weeks earlier, but this Louisville team could surprise us. I would lean under in it as well, but at the same time, this Louisville team is so explosive, you know, in the wide receiver and quarterback spots. You know, they may not have the same troubles like they had last week. But one of the things that I capped that was interesting is and I spoke of it on the show about the defensive line. On Wednesday, I told you that Louisville offensive line was doing terrible, and Pittsburgh's defensive line is awesome too, and it's led by some seniors over there. So Pittsburgh has a good look on maybe just smashing Louisville today, but just tippy-toeing to the window with it for me. Didn't really make it there because I don't know if this Louisville team can just be streaky and explosive. Are you guys on this game by any way?
No, I looked this one over a lot. Like you said, they think of how Louisville got beat pretty bad by Miami. If I had a lean, I'd lean Louisville, but it wasn't enough for me to bet. Pittsburgh has looked good. I think Louisville will be better, and I think they'll be better in this game. It was too close for me. This in its own. It's already dropped to +2. I think Atwell, Cunningham, I think they play better, and I think the defense plays better against Pitt. So that's my lean, but I didn't make a bet on it. But that would be my lean. Still Louisville. I think they play better, but it wasn't enough at 2 now. It was 3 at 2. I can't do it. So there's a pass.
Money line it.
Well, the real bad downside to Louisville is that they didn't really play no defense. They showed no signs of playing good defense in that game against Miami. So, and then we'll see this week how explosive that Miami offense is. Are they really that explosive, or are they going to be stepping down a little bit? But that's the tell in the future. But yeah. That's how we doing it on this one right here. Let's see. We got one more.
Let me say something about that.
Oh,
game.
You got something on that one?
Yeah,
okay.
Just something. Just a little snippet. So Louisville's defense is we know that they were giving it up. So was Miami's defense too, by the way. Yeah. But I'm not going to attribute that to garbage time because they were chasing the whole way. But listen, we know Pittsburgh. They're not a real explosive offense. Narducci's pretty conservative play caller. He can run some schemes and whatnot, but we know if Louisville is going to get right against a team in conference to kind of not going to put up a ton of points here, I think Pittsburgh's a perfect opponent for them to maybe. I'm going to put the onus on Pittsburgh's defense to slow Louisville down here. So that's what it's going to remain to be seen because I know Louisville is going to get points. So I'm not going to say it's going to be a track meet start type of game, but it's going to be up to Pittsburgh's defense to stop Louisville's offense. So I like Louisville here.
Okay. Oh, there we go there. So next, moving on, we're going to go to the last 12 o'clock game, which is Campbell Appalachian State. Are they playing this one?
Who?
Campbell and Appalachian State.
No, I don't have anything on that one.
Yeah, that one's probably off the card in most places. So we're gonna jump over into the 1 o'clock games. Florida International and Liberty. I'm pretty sure nobody's on that. Let's go to the good stuff. Jump to Iowa State and Florida International.
Yeah, nobody's got any look on that game. I lean Liberty in the points there.
Oh, you do? Go for it. Go for it. Another game I wanted to.
I lean the other way. I'll take FIU in the 8.
Okay. It's moved up, but I got in already at 6.5 on that game after we did the show. So I like
8 right now.
So maybe you could buy. I could bet the other side and maybe middle it, huh? Get it land on 7. But I think Liberty. Everybody was anticipating Liberty when they came out of FCS to FBS. Well-coached team, kind of like an App State light, if you will. But FIU, they're up and down with Butch Davis. They got some quarterback issues, I think, and I think coming out of all the other nonsense going on down in South Florida, not a whole lot of practice. I think they're going to be up against Liberty. You asked me this game a couple weeks ago. I said no way, but today I like Liberty. I'm on at 6.5, but if I wouldn't bet at 8, 6.5, I'm in.
And you see that Big Ragoo leaves no rock unturned over in Florida.
I might middle it. I might go the other way. Who the hell knows?
There you go. You got a nice middle.
Yeah. We'll see.
So Eastern Kentucky Citadel, anybody?
No, I didn't have a look there.
Now, this one you guys may have a look on. That's Iowa State and TCU. Big Ragoo, I'm going to jump out for a second, see if I can clear up my shot a little bit. Go ahead, take over with that one. Iowa State, TCU. I'll be right back.
All right, so Iowa State, TCU, another Big 12 matchup. Iowa State, they kind of, I would call that game against App State not an aberration because App State came to play that day. TCU, are they up on? Is this their first game coming out, or did they play last week?
This is their first game. This is their
first game, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So, like I said, I was taking a pause on the Big 12 action first week. I'm going to jump into some of the SEC because I know more about those matchups and a little bit more on the recruiting side. But I'm not going to get involved in this game. I would probably say you have to give a little edge to Iowa State possibly, just because of that fact. They got the game under their belt. I like Matt Campbell. I like Purdy, the quarterback. So
yeah,
I know TCU is going to play some defense. And this team usually is defensive-minded to Iowa State, so maybe a look to the under possibly if you're going to look at it. I don't whatever that number is currently, but I probably just just from a handicapping standpoint, without looking at the number itself, if it's like in the the middle 50s, like 56, 55, 54, I'd maybe lean to the under here. I don't know. What is that number?
It's 43.5. It's
yeah,
43
no way.
and a half.
No way in the world.
This one's tough for me too. I passed on it, but Gary Patterson should have their guys ready to go. They're 3-point home dogs. That I'd lean with TCU here. And I like Iowa State. They came out flat their first game. They'll be ramped up.
Yeah.
And ready to go. Good game. I like to watch some of this too. I think the numbers spot on too here. 3. So yeah, I definitely want to watch this one. See how it goes. But I'm passing.
Well, I don't got to look on that Iowa State team. I didn't like what we saw. I don't know what we're gonna get out of that one at all. So that one's definitely one I'm just gonna be taking a look at. Okay. But this Tulane Southern Miss.
No look by me on that game.
Anyone? Going once, going twice. Okay, here's a good one for you. West Virginia, and Oklahoma State. Now, I've seen some stuff in the chat. And by the way, let me give a shout out to our chat real quick. Prince of the City, Skeet Prophet, the Tazar, Maxwell Smarks, Nicola. Who else we got in here, man? I appreciate y'all showing up, hanging out with us, and capping these games. Like I said, today, 80 Proofs in here. Pick and Pop is in here. Nasty Nate was in here. Todd Clinton, nice group in here, man. And like I said, I appreciate y'all coming hanging out with us before these games right here. And we're gonna get to the money for sure. We're gonna get to the money. So this one right here, Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Now y'all let me know in the chat where y'all stand on this one. This one right here, I want to step to the side on, but I'm really liking the under in this one with Oklahoma State and their defense. I think that they play a real tight game right here, and that's going to be a little non-traditional for Oklahoma State, not to be tearing up the scoreboard. But I think the defense is going to come out in this one, and I like the under in this one. But I didn't make it to the window with it, but I definitely like the under.
Under makes sense because they're missing their star quarterback, and that offensive line didn't look good at all in that last one. So they're gonna have to prove something to me before I start betting them. I'm not gonna press the panic button like I said earlier on the Big 12, but there's a no play for me.
Yeah,
how about you, Conor?
They gotta get. Normally, if I saw 51, I'd take the over with Oklahoma State, but they haven't found their footing. They played 3 quarterbacks last week. Until they get rolling, I think they will play better. This is a wait and see, and I want to watch it. I think the line's right on here. It's a 6.5. I think there might be a little value in West Virginia. They're coming out. I haven't seen them play. I'd like to watch a little bit of this game too. So, yeah, it should be a good game. I want to check it out.
That's right. It's definitely I definitely gotta watch that side of the sports book and keep an eye on that game.
Yeah.
But Texas and Texas Tech's a good old everything bigger and better in Texas bout right here. The over is set at 71, and Texas is favored by 17.5, opened up at 15.5. Hey, it's the great state of Texas. Most of them is Longhorns anyway. I would take Texas, but Texas is not my business at all. But I like Texas. Try to put their foot down right here. They'll beat up a school like Texas Tech. Texas Tech, they got a little work to do over there, and they're developing, but slowly but surely over there. And I think this one is, because of the times and all that, they might have to just sit down for this one. But the line doesn't describe that, because being up at 71, they're expecting Texas Tech to at least be the same as they always was, passing the ball and putting points on the board. But on this one, I think Texas plays a little bit more defense this time, and they get away with the 17.5, and I think it probably falls short of that total.
Yeah, it smells like a backdoor cover this game to me. But you got to be up better than 4 scores with Texas, right, to get the number done. I know Texas Tech doesn't have a whole lot going on, but they're expecting some offense. Surprisingly enough, I didn't think it would be. I thought the number would be a little bit stronger here, to be honest with you. But I'm not gonna lay those kind of numbers like with that early in that league right now in that conference.
Well, I'm going to take the 18 with Texas Tech. I think it's too many. I'm going to gobble them up. I think they keep this game close. Last year they lost 49-24, but the 5 years before, all the games were really close, single score, under a touchdown. I think they keep it close. That's why I'm going to take the 18. I think it's 17.5 now, but give me that many points in this rivalry. I want it, and I'm going to take it. I like it. The running back was on Jimmy's show. The guy said he got arrested, but he's playing their top running back, Thompson.
Yeah, he's back.
So he's back. So I'm taking Texas Tech plus 18.
I like it. And I know that total on that one is probably set high from the history of the battle. It's always been that high. But in a year like this one, it might be a strong lean under right there. So,
maybe, yeah. Different time right now.
Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. These line setters, they have to base things off of what they know. And, they don't know too much about this year, but they know a lot about the past. And then, like you said, the last score was high. That's why it was set high. But it's crazy that the public came in and took it all the way up to 71 from 67 and a half. That's kind of crazy. That screams more to me to go under. But I'm going to pass on that one. If I get in some real trouble today, though, I might have to visit that one again. Now, this is another one that they're screaming up and down on ESPN and all those other places, and that's Mississippi State at LSU. 25% of the crowd in the stands for LSU and the SEC. A lot of things we don't know about how LSU is going to adjust. You got the new coach over here at Mississippi State. Everybody's high on him to do big things over there. But, when you talk about quality coaches, a lot of quality coaches are not going to just snap off as soon as they get there unless they have, the pieces. A real quality coach is going to build that team up to where they want them to be, because they have to install their systems, their terminologies, and all that kind of stuff, and it takes a bit. So I'm not high to jump on that Mississippi State bandwagon, but LSU, they still have some quality players, even though they depleted almost their whole roster and all that stuff. It's still LSU, though. They're still one of the top teams in the SEC, always have been. So I don't see no reason why they shouldn't be able to cover this game. But I do like the under in this one as well. It's going to take a little while for LSU to get everything firing off at full cylinders. Mike Leach is going to come over there and coach up some defense a little bit and slow him down a little bit, probably. And if I had to pick a play on that one, I'd definitely go under.
Yeah. I like the under there too. I like the under. Even though you got two high-powered offensive-minded coaches now, new system for LSU, totally, like you said, new players, new personnel, new coaching staff. I mean, a lot of new on both sides of the ball. So kinks are going to be worked out now. Leach's system is pretty adaptable. He's a plug-and-play type guy. Even when he was out there in Washington, Texas Tech, he always had the next up quarterback mentality. So I don't think that's going to be an issue for that adaptability standpoint, but maybe the talent level is, not all his recruits yet. So it's a big question mark. And the number opened up 19.5 originally, down to 15, 16 some spots, 14.5. The number is all over the board here. So you got different. If you're going to line shop, this is a game you definitely need to be shopping. You need to shop all of them, obviously, but this is one especially. So whether you're on the dog or the favorite, I'm not on the game. But, this is going to be a fun game to watch, I think, right out of the gate.
Yeah, I think so too. Obviously, LSU lost a ton of talent, especially on the offense side of the ball. You can't replace Joe Burrow and all those receivers, but they'll reload. The number is kind of like right where I thought it'd be. I'd take the points with Mississippi State before I'd lay it with LSU. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. With
a new quarterback, everything. If I'm not taking this game, but if people are out there, I think I would look that way unless you want to tease down LSU. So that'd be my only look. Because, I'd like to see how LSU comes out. I'm sure they'll be reloaded and kind of like Alabama, which we'll get into. All these teams, they just reload. So, but I definitely want to check this one out. But I don't. That'd be my lean. I take the points with the Bulldogs, but I'm off it.
Yeah, I like a strong lead to the under in that one because when you get new coaching and new stuff like that, the first thing you got to do is get the defense going. Yeah,
work on all those kinks, everything. Yeah, I agree.
That's always a good starting point. Good coaches will start there. Now this one, I didn't have any interest in it, but I just ran over it and looked at it a little bit more. And in this Cincinnati and Army game, this 12.5 points given to the Army, I think it's a bit high. And I went ahead and took Army plus the points right here. Yeah, we know Cincinnati played a nice year last year. Got a lot of players coming back and all that good stuff, but we're talking Army here. Like these military teams, they kind of changed the game for a lot of these things. And Army's one of the better military teams right now, especially on defense. So I'm going to take the Army and plus the points in that one.
You got a winner there, my boy. You got a winner. That's a winner, Army. Talk about flipping a switch. How about Navy when they played that game and they were down 24-0 and they come out and they charging? But attribute that to our military, whatever you want to call it there. You respect all the way across the board. But this is a good football team here. Now, last year they had a little bit of a down year. This team is always efficient on third downs on defense, well coached. Hopkins, I've had some major concerns when he was gone. New kids stepped up. So they're playing good football right now, and I think you're right. I think 12.5 is too many points here. Even though Cincinnati's a talented football team, Fickle has got a good program up there, but I think Army is going to play their style of football. Not that they're going to impose their will on Cincinnati, because Cincinnati's got athletes too, but I think Army's they're going to grind them. It's going to be a one-score game. I don't think it's going to be double digits by no means. And I'm going to put this game on upset alert too. Watch out, Army, money line Army sprinkle.
Okay, I'm not going to do that, but I think the line's a little too high. But I think Army's for real, but I think Cincinnati is too. They're back, 11 win years the last 2 years. They bring back 16 starters. I think they win the game, but 2 touchdowns here is a lot to ask for. So it was a pass. This was a tough one I was battling with. I'd like to take the points, and this is one of the ones I've zeroed in on. If I'd go, I'd take the points with you guys. I agree. But it's tough. Cincinnati's good. It's a tough one for me, but I agree with all your analysis for sure.
That's right.
Hey, somebody's got to go on a limb and take a upset special, right? Why not stay in the top? I call it a weaker top 25 right now because the small sample size of teams we had playing early on. But both of these teams deserve to be in the top 25 at this point in time of the year. So,
yeah, I like it a lot. Like I said, number just looks a little funny. I think it's a little disrespect to Army, and I usually don't even like betting the military games, but it jumped off the paper for me, so I'm taking Army right there. Next up, UTEP, Louisiana Monroe. I'm not laying money. I'm not laying any points with Louisiana Monroe against pretty much anybody, so it was a big pass for me. If I had to take a play on it, I'd probably attack the total, and I'd probably go over just because these teams don't play much defense at times.
Yeah,
anybody else?
That's a pass for me.
Totally agree. I wouldn't lay it with Monroe, and UTEP so bad. 9.5 is not enough. It's both there. Yeah. So yeah.
It'll keep going up to that number. If you want to bet, let's put it this way: if you want to bet La Monroe, you better bet it now. It's probably going to go up by the time the game goes.
Yeah, they show 10s out there already.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, they show 10s out there. At Pinnacle is 10.
Yeah, as I speak, you wager just hit 10. Boom.
Bam! Look at that. So next game, Now, this is an interesting game, and if I had to sort some things out later, I might get involved, and that's Duke, Virginia. Now, initially, I wanted to jump straight on Virginia, but when I think about, like I said earlier in the show, teams that don't kind of like what's going on and they come out and try to make a difference, this would be that game for Duke. It's now or never. Either you let them know you come to play football for the year now, or you just get rolled over and broken to pieces for the rest of the season. So I would I like Duke, but I wouldn't take the 4 points. I don't know on the win side of it, but I definitely go over again. And I've been burnt with Duke on the over, but I take the over again. The numbers dropping lower and lower, and I think that quarterback over there at Duke, he's going to fire off at some point and put some points on the board, and it might be today.
Yeah, normally Cutcliffe in the underdog role. I like that spot there. I still think they're getting their sea legs too underneath them. They come up a little short in a few attempts this year so far, and then they don't. I mean, the line's dropping here. As a matter of fact, we're seeing some 4s now, off of 6. So, and Duke's at home. Virginia's at home. Defensive-minded team too, so that number reflects that at 46. So you said you're going to fly with the over here?
I like the over. Yeah, if I take a look at it later on, but I got burnt with Duke trying to get that over, expecting them to produce some offense.
I like that. I like the over here. I would lean over on this game. 40. That's a mid 40s, 45.5, 46. It's got a shot to get there, even though that Virginia's defensive-minded team. But maybe Duke has a couple tricks up their sleeves, and Virginia opens up the game a little bit. Maybe they chase here a little bit. You could see it happening. Or this could be one of them 20. This could be one of those 24-20 finals too.
Yeah, I think this could be ugly. I want nothing to do with it. If Duke was a little bit bigger of a dog, I'd take them, but it's dropped down to 4. So I want nothing to do with it. I think the game could be ugly. Yeah, I mean they could light it up, but I don't. These two teams, I don't see it here, and I don't like. I'd like Duke bigger if they had more points. I'd like to take them, but getting down to 4, I'm passing.
Yeah, it's a short number for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, did we jump the Georgia Arkansas game?
That's coming up next. That's coming up next. You ready for that one? Yeah. Go ahead and start us off, Big Ragoo. Since you jumped in the flame, go. Let us have it.
All right. So we're talking about Arkansas, which has been a lowly team in the SEC for a little bit here, and they acquired Sam Pittman. Those of you who don't know who Pittman is, he's the former offensive line coach at Georgia, who they're playing today. Now I'm hearing these rumors that Georgia's going to take it easy on them. This, that. I don't buy that. I think they're going to say welcome to the SEC as a head coach. Now this guy's been back and forth. He used to be the offensive line coach at Arkansas. He's probably spent his last 8-9 years in the SEC with both of these teams, actually. And he's only got some JUCO head coaching experience. So it was kind of a head scratcher when they brought him on. But anyways, enough about him. Talent-wise, we got to see what kind of product they're going to put on the field. I know it's a big number here, but I think Georgia's going to put the pedal to the metal. I think Georgia probably has the best athletes right now in the SEC combined on both sides of the ball. But I think Georgia wins going away in this game. This game, I would look at a first half bet on this game too, taking Georgia laying the points.
Yeah, that's what I'd look to too. I'd take Georgia first half. I think I don't like any of these big numbers, and like we said, we can cut it out by the first half. This was one I think that they could cover. Arkansas is still rebuilding, still just not very good. And I think Georgia, they're for real. So, and then the defense is unreal. This was one, though, I think could get covered. We talked about on Wednesday that could cover. So, yeah, I'm with you there with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, definitely first half play. I would probably lean like 2 units on the first half and maybe
I'm
1
on
unit
it.
full game.
I'm on it.
Well, I'll tell you this, fella. Once again, I like the under in this game right here. Now, we all know that most offensive line head coaches run the ball a lot. And most offensive line that become head coaches, they'll run the ball because they base most of their coaching and stuff off of the line because they're lineman coaches. But So I think they slow the game down a lot right here. And the Georgia guys are big and slow. So they're not gonna, want to do too much either. And then, it's first week out for them. We got the cramps and all that factors and fatigue and all that good stuff. So I think all those factors are siding on the side of a under right here. And I like this one a lot. I like the under. I'll probably make it to the window with that one later on.
Yeah, you're going to need 3 scores in the first half to cover. You got 16 and a half, 17, some spots. Hope that was a 14 and a half number originally. So a lot of people are thinking the same way we are, it looks like. But, I think it's a fast start for Georgia. And then maybe he takes mercy on them in the second half by 4 scores or something like that. Who knows? When he's up by 4.
I don't see them scoring more than maybe a touchdown and a field goal.
Arkansas?
Arkansas, yeah. I don't see them scoring more than a touchdown and a field goal. Watch when this team scores a touchdown, though. They're going to jump out of their seats like they just won the national championship. Now, another one I might want to get involved in later is Boston College and Texas State. Now, this one opened at 17.5. It shot up to 20.5. That line is kind of too high to lay. But this Boston College team looked really good, and Boston College, it's hard to describe their temperament, but they'll keep laying the wood. They don't really want to blow you out that bad, but they're trained to go. So it's a big possibility that they could cover that number. And if I get involved, I'm gonna get involved and take Boston College.
Yeah, I'm off of this game totally.
Yeah, I don't want to lay 20.5 with Boston College. Not this early. I just think it's too inflated. They did play well. They look good, but I know it's Texas State. Not at 20.5. I'll pass.
I don't know. I seen a little fire in the eye of the Boston College. I just seen a little wink of the fire in the eye.
You saw that
and
wink?
I think they might be on to something. And if you're gonna jump on it, you got to jump on it now. Here's to show your true loyalty right here. If you're gonna jump on it,
hey, let's try to keep the FBS games because we got about 15 minutes. And we got to cover maybe like 6 more games.
Okay, well, let's jump straight to Alabama, Missouri. I wanted to talk about this game with you guys because everybody's been mentioning this game, but nobody's mentioned the last year worked really good again for a long time, but it did fall off. But Alabama first half sounds like a great bet right here.
Yeah, we made some money last year doing that too.
Yep, Alabama first half is the spot.
Probably another good spot there for that. You're probably looking at whatever that number is. I'm going to say if it's 29, it's probably 17.
I'm getting it right now.
Yeah,
it's like 17.5.
Yeah, so you're very similar to Georgia, similar outlook here. Missouri, a little bit more talent. I'm going to say maybe, they keep it a little bit closer, but I don't know. Alabama, they're chomping at the bit because of them not being around the finals last year. So they definitely want to get on the fast track early. So that would be a lean for me, a strong lean.
Yeah, that'd be my strong lean too. Missouri's a little bit better than we talked about Georgia with Arkansas. So I'm a little hesitant, but I like where you're going. That'd be my lean too. Bama, and I lean first half too.
What about you, Boss? You on it?
I'm on the first half a lot. I mean, let's get the in the room that Alabama, they're already predicted to do big things this year. They're hungry. Like they got to mark a line in the sand today. They're not playing. And this quarterback that they got coming in right now, I think he's better than the guys that's been there. And he already knows the system. These guys are I think they're trying to downplay themselves a little bit because these guys are going to fire off big time. It'd probably be a 56-9 type game or something like that.
Real quick, a ton of guys are out, tested positive for COVID for Missouri, by the way, as well.
Yeah,
12 players are out, and there's even more. So just keep that in mind. Yeah.
First, so I just threw y'all an alley-oop, man. Y'all got to catch that live.
Take
it to the hole.
Yeah, you got it. I'm giving go on that one right there, man. Alabama first half. We've been betting this for years now, and that's the mark. So let's keep it going. What we got left? Kansas and Baylor.
You got Florida State, Miami. You got Tennessee, South Carolina.
Okay.
Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech. How about Florida State, Miami? You want to jump into that one? You want to say that?
Jump into that one. Like,
roll into that one, bro.
Let me say my piece before the Florida specialist steps in right here. I don't know if King is really the new thing like he showed in the last game, but they got so many issues going over there at Florida State, especially with the coach and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes you got to think those type of adverse situations bring people together. Now they're showing the coach he's coaching from all this technology stuff, and they had coaches before that coach from up top, so he's gonna be coaching from somewhere, probably on a cell phone or video. I don't know, but I think that might bring them together. You know what I'm saying? And Miami last year, there was a wishy-washy team. It would be great. Miami would be showing a lot if they went in there and handled business and covered. They would be proving themselves today, but they still have a lot to prove. But they have a great defense. They're moving around on the offense, but I'm a pass. I want to hear what Big Ragoo got to say.
I'm going to kick it over to Conor. I'll finish this one up.
Oh, okay. Let me see if y'all can get me to the window.
You're not going to get it from me. Just what you said, boss, if Miami can play well, it starts to be real, but it's a little more. Florida State's in a little bit of growing pains. I was talking about it yesterday. How many games have you seen the number this big, and how many blowouts in this rivalry? Not many, over 10 points. Games are usually been always close with these two teams. So if I know they got King and everything, that's why I'm staying off, but 11 is a lot. These guys are going to be up for it. I don't know as much as that's why I'll throw it to Ragoo. He knows Florida State better than me. They looked rough. They've had a week to think about it. And so that's why I would lean with the points with Florida State, but I'm staying off this game. But that's my look from it. Go ahead, Ragoo.
Many years I've been watching this series, 84, 83, 80, since I've been in Florida. Listen, I've never seen the number. I've seen it when they've been shorter favorites and get blown out 31-0 down in Miami. I've seen those type of games, but I just think about the conditions, like you were saying, like DJ was saying, adversity and whatnot. I know when Norvell got there's some issues in the locker room and all that kind of stuff, but I think this is the get-together game. I think the first game was an aberration, more like growing pains. I had some major concerns on the defense a little bit. Offensively, I think they sputtered, but I think with the week off preparation, it's a high school reunion game in Florida, guys. So you can take all the stats, throw them all out the window. When these two teams meet, it's going to be a war. And give me the war and give me the points. Not because I'm a fan, because I like the 11.5 here. I mean, that's a strong number. I think
it is. You think it matters that Norvell's not going to be there, not going to coach?
I think maybe when he needs to put his foot up somebody's ass, possibly, yeah. But I think this is going to be a character. It's going to be a character building moment for the team itself. So yeah, I think this is where the team kind of gels because of the adversity. So take Florida State plus 11.5.
Right.
I like it. Now, next, let's jump into this game. I talked about it earlier in the week. I'm sure you guys would probably pass on this one, but Vanderbilt and Texas A&M. I'm high on Texas A&M coming out this year. 8 on offense, 7 on defense. Looking primed up, ready to go. I know Big Ragoo. I don't know how he feels about Jimbo, but this Vanderbilt team is going to be terrible this year, man. That's the little academic school in the SEC right there. So during this COVID thing, they doctors and all that sciences and stuff. So they're not really focused on football, and I don't think like that. And the big guy is laying the big number. Give it to me, minus 31. Texas A&M, I'll take it.
Wow. How about it, Conor?
Yeah, I like Vanderbilt will be bad. Texas A&M just hasn't lived up to the hype. And I don't know if they do again this year. They got talent, that's for sure. And they could beat Vandy by 30, but I don't want to lay it. I'll pass.
Dang.
Hey,
Big
DJ, I'm surprised you didn't come back with a first halfer on this one with your, with all your theories and stuff with the quick starts. But I tell you one thing, Vanderbilt, they said they lost their best offensive pieces, and they only scored like 14 points on average last year, and they only scored the last 3 games they're averaging 8 points. And if they lost their best pieces on offense, it's gonna get a whole lot worse. They're gonna score 0 here, but I don't know. 31's a huge number. Can Kellyman and Jimbo push those kind of numbers across the goal line to get there? They can, but and is Jimbo always like second banana in that conference in the division? Yes, he is. So I look for them to come out strong here without a doubt. So I'm not comfortable laying a 31, but it's a 31 for a reason. So it's a pass for me.
Hey, big guys do big things. Tell your side chick about me.
I like it.
Let's keep it moving, man. And I'm sure Big Ragoo has a big play in this one. And this probably the hottest game really of the day for me. And that's Tennessee and South Carolina. I'm just gonna watch. I like everything that Tennessee is doing. I'm not 100% comfortable with my knowledge of what South Carolina got going on. So that's why I'm stepping away from the game. But I like Tennessee a lot. I like everything they're doing. They went 5 or 6-0 coming out the season last year. Let's see. Hope they take this. They get a quality opponent right here. This is a chance to show them that you're back, that you want a piece of it. And I've been watching a lot of little SEC rhetoric, and they start putting up the top 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in SEC, and I didn't see Tennessee in there, and that upsets me.
Yeah, and 100-1, I got a shot at them, so we'll see what happens there early in the season. It's South Carolina's got the toughest schedule. I mentioned that Wednesday night. Muschamp's on the hot seat. Brings in Bobo from Colorado State with Hill as quarterback, which I know he was battling with the Helinski. Now Hill's got the nod, so Hill knows Bobo. Bobo's going to try to insert his offense there. And in the SEC, Bobo's an SEC guy, quarterback at Georgia, had some coaching experience in Georgia also. So trying to save Muschamp's job here. But Tennessee's been recruiting lights out. They got some talent, toe-to-toe on linebacker, solid running game, one of the best offensive lines in the SEC. It's a short number. It's crept up to 4.5 in some spots. I'm in at 3. So if you missed that mark there, if you didn't get in early in the week, I still like Tennessee here. I would still lay the 4. I think they cover by Black Rogue right on the screen there. It says -7. I agree with them 110% there. Lay the lumber with Tennessee in this spot.
Lay the lumber. What you doing? You laying the lumber or the stick?
Whatever I can get my hands on.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, which one? I think I might lay this too. Wait, I got a few hours to decide, but we talked about this game on Wednesday, and I know it's creeping up, so I'm gonna look into it. But I'm definitely on the Vols side if I'm betting anything here, and I'll let you guys know if I'll play this game because I'm looking at it a lot. So that's my lean, Tennessee.
That's right. Now, what we got left? The North Carolina.
Yeah, we'll close it out with the NC State game because we'll be coming up on the 12 o'clock hour for kickoff. And best bets. We'll do our best bets.
Okay. So I don't really have much on the North Carolina State Virginia Tech game. Not really my cup of tea, but I'll definitely listen to what you guys got to say in case I got to weasel my way out.
Go ahead, Conor.
I have nothing on this game. I liked NC State last week, and they played well, and I didn't pull the trigger. But I don't like them on the road. It's a pass. If anything, I'd lean with the points with NC State. But I haven't seen Virginia Tech this year. I mean, they got them ranked 20. I've looked a little bit in their roster and stuff. They look solid. It's a pass for me. I want to watch it for sure.
Yeah, I kind of missed the number on this one. 8.5 down to 6.5. I was leaning NC State also. Virginia Tech at home. I think Fuentes has done some nice work over there. But I'm not going to lay. I'm not going to take the 6.5. I prefer to take on the NC State side personally, but it's a pass for me also. So I would just stay off game altogether.
I like it. I like it. Now let's jump into best bets, and I'm gonna go with my best bet of the day. I'm gonna keep it in the Sun Belt because I've been trying to stay focused on the Sun Belt, and the best bet in the Sun Belt for me today is the over in the Georgia Southern Louisiana Lafayette game.
Okay. What about you, Conor? What's your best bet?
I don't really have a best bet. I'm going to stick with the one I made earlier in the week because all my bets are the same. Basically, is Ole Miss plus 14.5. I'm going to take the points.
Yeah, you're early. You got the early points there too. Well, I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to take the game I just talked about. Tennessee. It's probably the toughest SEC game on the board to pick, but I think it's the best game to pick. I'm going to take Tennessee to cover by 2 scores here. They get the job done.
Big Ragoo want all the smoke jumping into the big game. I like that, Ragoo. I'm gonna be right there rooting you. I'm gonna have to go drop something on Tennessee.
Do it now.
So overall, my bets I made it to the window today with on my little papers is that Alabama first half. Of course, the over in the Georgia Southern game. I also got to the window with Kentucky. I only got 6.5. I threw y'all that alley-oop. Y'all better go catch that Army game plus 12.5. And I did actually take the first half in the Texas A&M minus 18 and also the full game minus 30. So,
that's
where I'm rolling. Yeah, I'm on it.
What about you, Conor? What you got on the slate?
I got Ole Miss plus 14.5. I took Texas Tech plus 18. I got FIU plus 8. And if you want to, you can do a little sprinkle on the money line of that too. And I like Georgia and Bama. I'm going to take first half as well. And the last game I'm looking at. I haven't bet. We talked about Tennessee. These night games is Baylor. Kansas has looked very bad, and I don't know if I want to lay 17.5. I'm looking at that one a lot too. Yeah, I don't know if I want. I'm looking into these games. So,
hey, don't go messing.
Kansas.
Don't go messing with the old man.
Kansas. How about Kansas?
He called the Riverboat Gambler.
Coastal Carolina took him to the woodshed. I mean, Baylor can't. Yeah, twice. Baylor can't.
Did you see what that guy did last year? You better watch that old man. He got a pocket knife or something. He'll cut you.
That's true. So that's why I'm on that one. I'm gonna look a little more, but Kansas is very bad. That one what I saw.
Yeah, I'll give you my action real quick. I got FSU plus. I got I took Iowa State early. I'm on that one. Okay. I went back and looked at my action here. Okay, Iowa State. And it's funny you said FIU, but I flipped on that one. So I'm on Liberty.
Yeah,
and I almost called it a co-best bet, but I couldn't do that. But I love Army here, getting the points with DJ and Tennessee. I'm on that one too. So those are my plays today.
Now, anybody got a dog of the day?
Yeah, I gave you my dog earlier. I think Army. Army's a dog of the day.
I think Conor Mack is up there on dogs of the day.
I'm 2 for 2. I'm not. I couldn't find one great. Maybe later, but that early one for me was FIU. Like I said, take the points and sprinkle a little on the money line. I think they can beat Liberty. We'll see. I don't know if I can go 3 for 3. 3 weeks in a row.
I'm on Kentucky.
You got Kentucky, yeah.
I might as well go ahead and go for a little sprinkle and take Kentucky on the money line as well. But I might be too late for that. But dog of the day for me would probably have to be Kentucky because I already laid it with the points.
Cool. All right.
Well, that's it, man. I appreciate everybody that came to the chat to hang out with us. Black Rogue, Stephen Glass, Pocket Hilly, Goodwill. Like I said before, Ski Profit, Swerving, Andrews, Pick and Pop. Man, it was plenty of people came and joined us today. I appreciate y'all joining us and having a good time with us on this show. We're going to try to do our best. I do apologize. My camera ain't the best today. I'm at this little used to be Motel 6 over here. And for some reason, they got all the windows white and all this kind of stuff. So I do apologize. But come check us out on Wednesday nights. that's when we lay all on the table. If you guys know, you can go back and watch that show as well. You know, we had some good early looks, and today is where we polish them all off and dress them up and make them look nice and put them out there. But I had a great time with you guys today, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's input in the chat all over the place. Not much else to say, man. Anything for you guys before we close it up?
No, let's cash tickets.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's watch the football Saturday. Have a good one. Everyone in the chat, always appreciate all the guys that always roll with us. You named them. They're our guys. I appreciate it. Waking up and listening to us on Saturday. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for checking in as usual, like DJ says. And guess what? I'll see you at the window.
See you at the window. Hey, and
Love
if Big Ragoo sweeps the board like he normally does, he's gonna have a wrap for you guys next Saturday. So come check us out.
If I hit my big game, I'll rap for you next week.
I love it.
Right,
I'll hold you to it.
Peace, guys.
Later, guys.